I'm about to change your Instagram theme page forever. I've talked to hundreds of theme page owners in the same exact spot as you. They don't know what's wrong with their theme page. It's not growing. They're not able to monetize. They're not able to take it to the next level. They're stuck at 90,000 followers. They're losing followers, whatever your problem is. So if you watch this video to the end, I've laid out exactly everything that I have learned in growing my theme pages to over 1 million followers across all platforms. Get a notepad out, take notes, and take your theme page to the next level. Let's get into it. I studied 100 losing theme pages. Here's why they all failed. I look at pages all the time, and 90% of the time, the pages that come to me, they're quote unquote losing pages, meaning there's something going wrong with their strategy, losing followers, not growing at all, not monetizing, you name it. That's what I consider a losing page. After analyzing all of these pages on a day-to-day basis, I get DMs every single day. I work with clients every single day. This is exactly what I see that these pages are doing that are actually losing. All of these points here, I'm going to dive into even deeper. Without further ado, let's get straight into this. Now, why should you listen to me? My name's Drew. I own multiple Instagram theme pages, have close to 1 million followers across all platforms. And this is one of my theme pages right here. And all the screenshots you see are from this one singular page. This is Daily Athlete. We get around 50 million views a month now. This right here is a screenshot from the bonus program, getting paid $100 a day just for posting sports content. As you see here, here's our page. We have over 300,000 followers now. You see we're getting paid on other platforms too, like TikTok. Here's a $700 payment. Here's a payment from one video, almost $2,000. Here's a brand deal we did with a company for $3,500 a month. And then as you can see here, here's another brand deal we did that's over $5,000 a month. Bonus screenshot here for over $100 a day from the bonus programs. And on top of all this, I also help students out. So I have one-on-one clients that I work with on a daily basis. Made my first $10,000 while still in college, while working an internship with theme pages. So that's when I kind of learned that this was the real deal and this is something that you could do. And then since then, I've helped scale multiple theme pages to over 100,000 followers. I've helped people that were making zero money from their accounts land monthly retainer deals. Most theme pages do not fail by accident, right? Over time, I've gone through hundreds of small / stuck pages. So pages like we discussed that are struggling with something, and different niches all have the same exact core behaviors, right? That are going wrong. And failures were predictable within seconds of me looking at their page, right? So I've got to the point now where when I get a DM from a page, I'm able to kind of just look at it in 5 minutes and see exactly what they're doing wrong. Some of the main things are people just think that they're unlucky. They're posting content every single day, and for some reason, they're just not hitting the explore page. But I look at their content and it doesn't look like any content I've ever seen hit the explore page before. Understand that Instagram has certain content that it's going to push out, right? And if you're not falling in those categories with the way that your posts look, it's just never going to work. Like I've seen people posting like graphics from things that would look like they would be on holiday cards and things like that. And it's just like, I've never seen that go viral once before. So where are you getting these ideas from? They're like, oh, this is just what I thought would go viral. It's like, no, let's take a step back here. That's not the right way to do it, right? Sometimes they just blame the algorithm. They think the algorithm shadow banned them and they're cooked and they have no idea what to do next. Or they think that it's just going to take more time, right? They've been posting for 4 months and they still are at 1,000 followers. Like, oh, it's just going to take, I just need to keep going, right? I just need to keep going. It's like, no, you've got enough data now. You've posted for 4 months. Clearly something's wrong. Let's dive into what's wrong. If you just continue posting for another 4 months, then what? You're going to be at 2,000 followers in 8 months? Like I just grew one of my theme pages live for you guys from 12,000 to almost 100,000 followers within 3 months, right? So it should not be a long thing, right? You can grow a theme page fairly quickly. The next thing is they just honestly jump to the next thing. They don't give it enough time, right? So some people come to me, they posted for 4 months, and then I look through it and I'm like, oh, well, it looks like you posted consistently for a month, and then you took a month off, and then they're like, oh yeah, well, I started to try out drop shipping, or I tried to create my own personal brand or XYZ. And it's like, if you would have just stuck with this for the 4 months and continued to watch my free content that I'm putting out, continue to watch my free stories that I post every single day, where I'm literally growing pages in front of you guys, and just kind of follow exactly what I'm doing, you would have been just fine. If you just focus your attention on one thing for long enough, you're going to be successful, right? If you are constantly looking at your data, fixing things, and continuing to get better. Don't jump from one thing to the other. You've landed on theme pages. Clearly you're interested in theme pages. Go all in on theme pages and watch what will happen. Take a look here, guys. These are some pages that have come to me. I've talked to some of these guys I haven't talked to, but for example, like this AI tools page right here, right? And this is no hate to anyone running these pages. I don't know any of these people, but these are just pages that popped up recently or messaged me recently. Take a look here. This type of content, click to add title, your bosses, like content like this. When you go onto your explore page, do you ever see content like this going viral? They could post for 6 months this type of content. They might have one video that does 10,000 views. The rest of them are not going to do anything. Like this content right here, this page is on the right track, right? This kind of reminds me of my page when I was first starting. They're trying to put some text on the screen. They just don't have the little things down. This is why I give all of my clients my exact templates, because it helps with all the little things, right? But when you're just trying to use this is just the basic font on Canva. It's kind of hard to read, things like that. There's little things that they need to do to make things stand out more. And at least they're trying to post carousels. Clearly they're watching someone, probably watching my content, trying things out, but they just need to step it up a little bit and continue to grow that content. And this is the type of page where it's like, if they came to me, I would be able to have this page. They would get my templates, and within a month, right, their content would be hitting the explore page consistently. They'd be going viral consistently. This page, like, it looks good, right? It looks like it's just a brand new page. Like, this is a page that's kind of on the right track. It looks like they're doing the right things, but once again, it's like there's little things that they could be improving on. The bio, daily motivation to upgrade your life, focus, work, repeat, trust the process. Random quotes that everyone's already known that they just plugged in there. So just some examples there, not trying to bring anyone down, but they took the initiative to start the page and they're on the right track. There's just little things that they need to do. But like I told you guys, I could look at a page for 10 seconds and already know, okay, this page isn't going to work. The good news is they have a lot of room to grow, but if they continue to do what they were doing, it wasn't going to work. The first thing I want to get into that I see theme page owners doing, they copy, but they don't understand. So we're going to get into an example of an account that has 2 million followers that copied a post of mine word for word, even using the same images. They got 2,000 likes. My post got 50,000 likes. They have 1.6 million more followers than me, but their post got 2,000 likes versus my 50,000. We're gonna get into exactly why that happened. They missed the emotional trigger that actually made the content spread. They study finished posts instead of thinking what's going on behind them, meaning that they just look at a post, they just pull exactly word for word everything, same images, everything, and post it. Even if that does go viral, they have learned nothing, right? So at some point in time, if you want to separate your theme page from everyone else, you have to kind of have your own little lane. You have to be able to make your own original content. I don't mean put your face in front of the camera, but I mean, you have to be able to look at content and ideate off of it, right? So you're not just copying what you see, you're taking that idea and then turning it in and making something better. And with AI and chat and all that, there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to do that quickly and easily. Copying format without context removes the original impact, and they replicate content after it's already been validated and saturated. And let's take a look at exactly what I mean here. This last point is extremely important for you guys to know. So here we go. Here's my post, sports records that will never be broken. Wilt Chamberlain, longest winning streak. And as you can see here, Daily Athlete, 44,000 likes, 557,000 views. And this was posted on January 9th. And then you see here, January 24th. So what this account creator did was they saw my posts that went viral, and then they just did the same exact thing. So there's a couple things. Obviously, number one, their design is not nearly as good, but also they just copied it word for word. So do you think that the 557,000 people that saw my post 20 days prior, less than 20 days prior, is going to then interact with your post that is the same exact post? Absolutely not. If you're just copying content word for word, same images, even the same order, right? If they would have started with the very last slide here, it would have probably got 5,000 likes at least, because some people didn't swipe to the end of mine, I'm sure. But they did the same, they did everything exactly the same, and they're probably wondering why it didn't go viral. It's like, you just copied everything. Now, the good thing about my post and why it got 500K is because this was an original post. No one had ever made this post before. Now, where did I get this idea from? Yes, I got this idea from someone else, but they didn't post the same exact thing. And this is what I'm trying to tell you guys, right? With AI and everything today, you guys can take formats, you guys can take ideas, whatever niche you're in, but spin it to your own niche and put your own ideas behind it, and your engagement will go skyrocket. If you're someone that's just copying everything word for word, you're going to struggle, right? And you're always going to be getting the leftovers, right? The people that didn't see my post engage with this, right? The people that saw my post scrolled right past it, and Instagram saw that and it killed their engagement. When it comes down to that, make sure that don't copy content, right? Repurpose, re-ideate, and come up with something better, an idea off of it, right? This format of sports records that will never be broken could easily go viral again, but you can't use the same exact photos and same exact stats that I use because people have already seen it, right? Especially not 10, 20, 15 days after. They're always late without realizing it. Most pages pull content from already viral accounts instead of discovering it early, right? So this is exactly what we just talked about in the last point. And by the time they post it, the idea has already peaked in distribution. Take a look at this graph right here, right? So here's me. I was right here, right? Saw some formats on the other accounts doing well. Some of the pages in other niches. I was the first one in the sports niche to start posting stuff like this. And here it is. And I rode that wave all the way up. The people that are just pulling my content and doing the exact thing are the people that are posting right here, right? After this post, I posted it 500,000 right here. The person saw it, probably saved it to their content library, and then they put it up here and everyone's already seen it. My post is already on its way down. They try to post it and they have no chance, right? So by the time they post, the idea has already peaked, the algorithm has already categorized and exhausted that content, and they're unknowingly competing against the best performing version of it. That's exactly going back to our first point here. He or she, whoever, this company, is competing against the best performing post, right? 500,000 views. This would be like me reposting this. This would be like me on January 24th reposting this to my account. It would get 2,000 likes, right? People have already seen it. And the sports niche especially is, it's tight knit, right? It's only American based. It's not global, right? I mean, for basketball, football, the type of content I post, it's not really a global niche, and that's intentional. 500,000 people, that's a lot of people that have seen it. Plus, I put it up on TikTok and I didn't even go and check, but I think it got another 500,000 views there. The algorithm has already categorized and exhausted it. They're unknowingly competing against the best performing version. And timing matters more than originality in many cases. Late content almost always underperforms, even if it's good. The only time late content would perform better is if you're posting it well after, a year later, 2 years later, things like that. The next thing, guys, no system, no growth. Most pages don't have repeatable formats or content structures. So a lot of times people will reach out to me with their pages, and just looking at their page, when I land on their page, the landing page of their Instagram, the homepage, it just looks off. There's a bunch of maybe they have one graphic here, maybe they have 10 videos in a row here. I want to show you guys an example right here. When you look at my page, right, you landed on this, you know what you're getting. Repeatable formats. When you come here, like, this just doesn't look good. This is a lot of people come to me with pages like this. I've never once seen content like this on my Explore page, and I never will. The only one that maybe could work is this one. Like this stuff right here. I mean, it's never, there's a 0% chance of this ever going viral. And that's not to knock, I don't even know what page I pulled this from. It doesn't look professional, it doesn't look good. And if someone lands, let's say this post does go viral, they're not gonna convert any followers because they're gonna land on the page and say, it doesn't even look like I'm getting that. None of the other posts look like that. They're all AI based, but it's like, stick to one font, stick to a font that you have seen work somewhere else, and stick to the same exact thing. Like this page come to me, I have 5 things for them to fix just from looking at it for 2 seconds. Every post is random, nothing can be improved or scaled. This format, this original IP that I'm building of these graphics, this idea, the blue arrow, everything like that is original to my page. People know when this pops up for the 10th time in their Explore page in the last month, oh, I know where that account's coming from. And that's why we can consistently get 300,000, 200,000, 300, 500,000, 500K, 150K. Like our worst posts in this random screen, 1.3 million, 119K, 124K. When I tell you guys this stuff works, this is what's working. Out of these random, I just took a random, 9 posts screenshot from my thing, and the lowest performing one is 150,000. And keep in mind, we have 300,000 followers. So every single one of these posts reached more than our follower count. So understand that's how we grow hundreds and thousands of followers per day across all of my pages. There's no feedback loop built into what they're doing. When I post this, right? When I'm posting these things, I'm able to then, if I post someone on the right side and it performs worse than when I post someone on the left side, that's data. I'm able to look at that. When I go to look at my best performing posts in the last 90 days, if every single one of my best performing posts had someone on the human on the right side rather than the left, I can see. But you don't think I've already tested that, I already know. You need to be able to look back at your stuff. You need to be able to see this account right here. If this post goes viral, it's not scalable. They're not able to go back and look, right? Because it's just a bunch of random things, a bunch of random formats, right? They don't even have a format in place. So sure, you can make the argument they're testing things, but it's like, they're clearly just using, it looks like they're using AI to make these, right? They're just using AI to make some background and then they're going. We don't use AI for any of our posts, right? For the images, it's all doing them ourselves. So understand that. And that way you don't really have, you still to this point don't have full control over AI, right? AI, if you want it to make all your posts for you, it's just not going to work because it's not going to make them look the same way every single time. And you're not going to have repeatable formats. This kind of goes into what we're talking about with the feedback loop. If you don't have a system in place, you can't even double down on what's working. If this account posted 150 times using this strategy of just random posts, what are they going to double down on? There's not even, it's just 150 different formats, different tests. Can't even really double down, right? If they posted, for them, there's no point to even post 150 times. It's like, all right, you have your data now. Like, let's start to try and test things out repeatedly with social media, right? Especially with you guys with brand new accounts. You're gonna have to post for a week, 7 days straight, 2 weeks maybe of the same format and see, is it working? And then for those of you guys, there's two types of people that come to me often that have pages that aren't growing. The first one being people that have tried the same format for 4 months and still aren't growing, and people that have just posted random things for 4 months, right? So if you post the same thing for 4 months and it's not working, well, now you know you've got enough data, you need to switch your strategy up. And if you are someone that's just posting random stuff for 4 months, well, you need to just stick to one thing and then adjust the strategy based off of that. Without structure, even good posts can't be replicated, and winning pages operate on systems, not guesses. Every single person on my team knows exactly what we're doing right here, knows exactly why we're doing it, knows where to put the people, where to put the arrow, all the, like everything. And then this goes even more so than just where the people are at, the arrow, that stuff. But that's just the easiest way to explain it, right? There's a psychology behind the entire thing, the whole post, right? The next thing is they don't post enough. I understand, right, that some people, you know, you're working a 9 to 5, you're doing this as a side hustle, whatever, you're not gonna have time to post 10 times a day. That's completely fine. But some people come to me and they're posting once every other day, or they miss 3 days here and XYZ. Low volume limits how fast you can figure out what works, right? So if you come to me and you start a page and you post for a week and you have all this momentum, and then you stop for a week and then you come back and you never are even giving yourself a chance to see what's working. You can't identify patterns without enough data points, right? So most creators don't give themselves enough reps to improve. This also goes for graphic design. When I've gotten thousands of reps of creating this pieces of content. I don't create the content anymore, but if my designer is sick or whatever, I can go in and still create the content just as good as he does because I have reps under my belt. I've been doing it for long enough, right? When I first started, guys, my graphics were terrible. And maybe in some video in the future, I'll kind of show you guys what my pages looked like when I first started, but the graphics were really bad, and I got reps under my belt and got better. And that's just how it works. And that's how social media works in general. It's one of the only things that you can actually scroll back in time and see how much you've improved. So understand that. And 1 post per day in the beginning, it's usually not enough to build momentum, right? Unless you're really good at making viral content, you gotta be trying to put out 2 posts a day. And this can be reels, this can be content that takes you 5 minutes to make, but a lot of you guys just aren't giving yourself enough chance, and it's because you're not putting your theme page as something that could potentially be making you $1,000 a month. High volume pages learn faster because they iterate more, and growth speed is directly tied to output. So take a look at this. This is how Instagram and all social media works, right? It's an exponential growth. At the beginning, when you have 0 followers, it's going to be a straight line, right? And you gotta just get through the straight line phase of no followers coming in, very little views, things like that, maybe 1 follower every 2 days, right? It's just how everyone goes through it. But once you get 100 followers from a post, then 200 followers, then 1,000, then 2,000, then 6,000, like this is how it works, right? And if you're not continuing to post, you're never going to get to this point because you're just killing your momentum by taking breaks. Or you can't see it. Killing your momentum by taking breaks and posting. You have to stick with it, right? If you're someone that goes, oh, I want to start a theme page, let me post 10 times or 5 times a day, and then you do it for a week, and then you start to get a little bit of momentum, and then you go, oh, watch 1 drop shipping video. All right, let me go try drop shipping. and I'm done with theme pages, and you just never even gave your, it's like that photo of the guy that's mining, and then right before he reaches the diamonds, he turns around and quits. Every single theme page I've ever ran, I took it seriously and I posted consistently, and it's grown. I have posted every single day on Instagram for the past 6 or 7 years of my life. There's no excuse why you can't do it. I had 2 jobs at one point, and I was still every single day getting up early or before I went to bed, getting a post up. It's just the name of the game. If you want results, you gotta treat. Is there any business that you know where you can just take days off consistently and no? Theme pages are one of the lowest maintenance things, but you still have to do it every single day. An example, so here's someone that's posting a bunch, right? I think this is my page, right? So we're getting, 3 posts out a day on average, sometimes 6 posts, sometimes we only get 1, but we're every single day, right? And Social Blade's not in my time zone, so some of these are skewed, right? So when we do 6 posts, it's most likely because we were posting all of them within 24 hours. But this is someone that came to me, right? I look at their Social Blade, and this is their posting schedule. Maybe they get a little bit momentum here, a little bit momentum, then they take 3 days off, kills it back down. Look, you guys have to understand that when you are posting on Instagram, you are putting yourself into the cycle of growth every single time you post. So when you log into Instagram, the accounts that you see, if you go to your personal page right now, open up Instagram, you will see pages you're constantly interacting, pages that you are constantly interacting with. You are a super fan of those pages. You like their posts every single time they pop up. If they stop posting for a week, it wouldn't show up for you anymore. Not as often as it does. So understand that when you post for a week straight, some of these people like your account. They start to enjoy your posts, right? It's showing up in their feed consistently. And then you take a week off and you've just lost all your momentum. You killed it. We're going to get into the snowball effect. That's exactly how it works. And Instagram builds a trust score, right? Your trust score takes a hit if you do not post every single day. That's why you see we do not miss days ever, no matter what. The next thing is content isn't built to spread. Most content is made to be viewed, not shared. If it doesn't trigger an emotion, it's not going to travel. Understand that I know every single time I post something that's emotional, every time I post something that drives some type of laughter, or it's super funny, or it's something that drives comments, I know it's going to go viral before I even post it. Those are always the most viral because it encourages people. Number one, it hits them differently because they feel something from it. But number two, they want to go share it with people. People share identity, not information, and safe content rarely ever spreads. If there's no reaction, it's not going to distribute. Content needs a reason to be sent to someone else. Like you can see here, this post, like someone sending it saying, scary stuff. It's like, this post was scary. That's why they sent it, right? If it was just some of you guys post content that's got no emotion behind it, bland, right? It's like talking to someone that's monotone. It's just like bland, and it's like, why would anyone ever share it? Why would it, make sure every time you post, and you can watch some of my other videos, I dive deeper into this, but it's like either it needs to be something that's funny, it needs to be something that's scary, it needs to be something that's interesting, it needs to be something that's weird, like it needs to be out of the ordinary. A lot of people optimize for likes and they do not optimize for shares. Now, this goes hand in hand with the point above, but understand that every single time you post something, you should be focusing on shares. So take a look at this post screenshot to the left. It got 18,000 likes, but it got 15,000 shares, right? This is a screenshot from one of my pages. Now, we gained 900 followers, from this one post. It's because it was being shared, and it's because it was a valuable post. So this is on my Lyft-based page, right? With 80,000 followers, we gained almost 1,000 followers from one single post. So 1/80th of our followers came from one post. It's because it's shareable, right? If this post had 18,000 likes and 200 shares, it probably would have 1/10 of the views. I don't know how many views this has. I think it has over 1 million. Every single time someone's sharing, they're putting it into a group chat with 10 other people. They're putting it on their story to 1,000 other people. They're sending it to their friend who maybe then sent it to, it's just like, if you could map out a post, if you could take this post right here and then show the branches off of it every time it was shared and how many more people saw it, I think it would be a lot easier to visualize. But imagine one person sees it, shares it to 10 people, one of those people sees it, shares it to their story for 1,000 people, so on from there. It's just a snowball effect. Everyone sees it, everyone shares it. When you don't have shares, you're losing out on hundreds of thousands of views consistently. And understand, shares is number one for Instagram. If your post is being shared, that means that it's worth Instagram sharing it to more people. And it's just a double effect, right? It's like a power up. Your post is going to get shared by more people because it's being shared, and everyone that's sharing your post is just showing it to more people. So you're getting twice as many people seeing it. If it's a post that has a CTA, if it's a post that's valuable, People are going to follow you from it. Likes are passive, shares are active distribution. Most creators design content to look good, not to spread, and high like posts often have a low reach. Shares are the strongest growth signal on Instagram, and if no one sends it, at some point in time, it's going to die. This post is going to continue to get likes for the next year. Virality is built on shareability, not aesthetics, right? So your posts need to look professional for people to put it onto their story, but it needs to be good content behind it. And here's the next thing, guys. People quit right before it works. And we've discussed this a little bit already, but we're going to dive into it a little bit more. Most pages just do not stick with a format for long enough to see results. So I say 7 days, right? But if you go in and you dive into a page and you use the market research methods that I've taught you, and you see everything and you know that this format is working, and you try it for 7 days and it's still not working, you need to dive into it. Are you using the same font? Does it look the same? If everything's still good to go, then you need to just continue on for another week. Some people just give up too early, right? If you're going for 4 months or 3 months, whatever, and it's still not working, then you need to change something. Early growth is inconsistent, which makes people think it's not working. The hardest part, and I've said this forever, is 0 to 1,000. The second hardest part is 0 to 10,000, right? But once you get 10K and you have momentum going, you're on your way to 300K. There's nothing that's going to stop you as long as you keep going. People restart instead of refine. People will come to me and be like, here's my 5 pages. I have 500 followers here, 200 here, 100. It's like, pause. Why do we have 5 pages when 1 page hasn't worked yet, right? You don't need 5 pages. Choose a niche that you like, go all in on it, and then learn from that page with the other ones. Use that page to build your other ones. Don't spread your attention out on 5 different pages. You're going to grow 5 times slower. Breakthroughs usually come after multiple iterations, so you have to try things out, right? Daily Athlete, if you saw my content strategy in the beginning, you would be surprised. Gone through, tried a bunch of different things until it worked, right? I do that on all my pages. Some pages now, like Lift Base, you guys have seen, I developed the content strategy right off the bat, and now we went from 100 likes a post to 5,000 likes a post because I know what works just from experience now. But if I was just starting, I probably would have tried something out. It wouldn't have worked. We would have dove into something else. When things work, you get data and you just know what to double down on. Consistency will always beat constantly resetting. The snowball effect, as we just talked about, think of a snowball rolling down a hill in the winter. As it continues to roll, it continues to get bigger and bigger and bigger and faster and faster. If you quit, you're just putting the brakes on this, you're smashing the snowball on the ground. And then you come back and you start to build it up again. And right when it starts to kind of move quickly, boom, you switch the content strategy again. Switch the content strategy again. Like if you're going from 100 views a video to 500 views a video in a week, that's a positive. Continue to move, right? I know you see my posts, you see other people's posts with millions of views and hundreds of thousands of views on each post. You're not there yet, and that's okay. But don't expect to get there in a week. 200 views to 500 views to 1,000 views to 10,000 views to it's all progress. So pat yourself on the back as you're making progress, right? Don't kill yourself for making slow progress. That's how social media works. It's always going to be slow. Consistently think of the snowball effect and stay consistent, and you're going to get there. But don't give up and don't go switch to something else. Don't see one video and do this and you're doing your theme page a weekend and then boom, you're on to personal branding and this, that, the other, and now you've switched to YouTube automation. It's like focus on one thing. You're here, you watch this video to this point in time, you're clearly interested. Keep going, don't give up, and put full effort into this. You've seen what I've done, you've seen other people do the same thing. Just lock in and it can be you too. The real pattern is, it's never just one issue, it's a combination of all of these. So if you watch this video and you haven't been taking notes, I don't know what to tell you. You're not going to just remember all this in your head, right? Go back, rewatch the video, get a notepad out and actually take notes on each thing. And then figure out, mark down, okay, give yourself a rating, 0 through 10. The first point, okay, do I do that sometimes? Is that something I'm doing all the time? If you're doing it all the time, give yourself a 0 out of 10. If you don't have a specific format and you just post randomly, give yourself a 0 out of 10. That means you got to focus on that and fix that. If you do, sometimes you have a format, sometimes you don't, give yourself a 7 out of 10. Whatever it is, go through each one of these points I've talked about and give yourself a rating, because oftentimes it's a combination of all of these, right? It's not just one thing. And most pages lack alignment across strategy, volume, and execution. You have to be consistent. You have to have a strategy, and you have to continue to execute over time and go back and continue to look at the data, continue to fix it. Small inefficiencies stack and kill growth over time. If you're someone that has a little bit of growth, but you have no system in place, you just post right before you go to bed, At some point in time, it's going to catch up to you and your page is going to stall. Winning pages fix the problems, losing pages repeat them. The data is right there on every single post. That's all you need to know. It's literally telling you, okay, your reel was skipped 50% of the time. Your post got seen by 100,000 people, but only 5,000 people liked it, right? It's telling you exactly what you're doing wrong. You just have to fix it. Growth becomes predictable once systems are in place. And this is all pattern recognition. There's no luck to it. If you post good content, Instagram will push you out, I promise. And the reality is this, every single big page went through this exact phase. The difference is they correct these mistakes faster. They paid attention to patterns instead of their emotions, and they built systems instead of relying on motivation. If you are someone that has an Instagram theme page, you can't grow it, you can't monetize it, you're stuck, you have no idea how to make content, whatever it is, maybe you've never touched social media before, click the first link down below for a free call with me, and I will walk you through how your page can get to the next level. If you are a good fit, we can work one-on-one. Every single one of my one-on-one clients, the people that are putting in the work, trying things, doing things properly, are getting good results. Go to my Instagram at Winning Corner, look at my stories every single day, look at some of the reels I'm posting, and look at some of the success that I've had. Understand that some of you guys just have, like I said, you got to have alignment across everything. A lot of you guys just have to fix your content strategy. You have to be a little bit more specific, niche down, whatever it is. But a lot of you guys are very close. A lot of you guys have already started. A lot of you guys message me with questions. Click that first link and let's work together and let's figure it out.